In Romans 1:16, the Apostle Paul, also a Jewish believer in Jesus, writes, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of God for salvation to everyone who believes, to the Jew first, and also to the Greek." Although Paul was considered the apostle to the Gentiles, he still carried a great burden for his own people. And he practiced what he wrote. In fact, wherever Paul traveled during his ministry among the Gentiles, he first preached the gospel to the Jewish people. He went to the synagogue of the Jewish people who lived in that area. We should ask ourselves why the Apostle Paul made Jewish evangelism such a priority in his own life. The Apostle Paul's argument may be summarized as follows. If Jewish people are successfully evangelized, then Jesus, the Messiah, will return. There was a sense of end times urgency in his preaching, which is why Paul encouraged the Roman believers and us to prioritize the evangelization of the Jewish people. In Romans chapter 11, verses 11 through 29, we have another very important passage where the Apostle Paul argues that God has not cast off his people, Israel, despite their national rejection of Jesus as their Messiah. Paul argues that God is not finished with Israel, because one day all Israel will be saved, Romans 11:25 through 27. Paul writes in Romans 11, verse 15, "For if they're being cast away as the reconciling of the world, what will their acceptance be but life from the dead? The Lord will not reject his people, because he's always faithful to his promises." In fact, the very existence of the Jewish people today is a powerful argument to the truth of the Bible and evidence for the existence and power of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The great day of salvation for the Jewish people will bring about the return of the Lord Jesus, and God's blessings upon the world will be poured out, because in that day, Jesus, Yeshua, will sit on the promised throne of David as predicted in Isaiah 9, 6, and 7, and Isaiah 11, 9 through 10. The Bible teaches that the Jewish people will turn to Jesus in the last days, and it's only then that the Lord will return. This is why reaching the Jewish people with the gospel must become a heart priority to all Christians. The salvation and future of Israel described by Paul is the final event in the chain of events preceding the second coming of Christ and the culmination of the Abrahamic blessings promised in Genesis 12. There is a remnant of Messianic Jews today, and I'm so glad to be included among that remnant. However, a great movement of Jewish people who will believe in Jesus at his coming is what really motivates us.